We're just winging it a little bit, but hopefully she cranks. Lifted Larrikins, welcome to the channel. You guys wanted it, so here it is. First video, we're doing a 400,000 kilometer service on the 80. Nobody wanted that, but we're gonna do it regardless. So let's get into it. So we'll just go over the products that we've got for today's service. HPR 15W50 for the oil. Top of the top, Penrite, it's the way to go. So I've got two 10-litre jugs just so I have a bit of spare. I'm pretty sure the 1HZ takes 9.3 litres. So yeah, I have a little bit left over. Oil filter, got this one. Got the Z334 ST from Ryco. Fuel filter, Z380 from Ryco. Last time I replaced this one would have been 10,000, so due for another one. Ryco air filter as well. A bit of transmission oil, so got the Pro Gear GL4 from Penrite. 75W90, so that's for the transmission and the transfer case. Some diff oil, my front and rear diff, 80W90, some Penrite. This is Outback hardened. I don't know if it's any better than just normal Penrite gear oil, but we've got a little bit extra here to top it up because we're just shy. With 4 litres, it takes about 5.1, so yeah, that's pretty much everything. And we just got a oil jug over there. Dump all the spare oil in. Right. First job, we're gonna get the oil out of it so we can put new oil in. Hopefully this cracks easily. Oh, there we go. Now everyone gets to see my oil emptying skills. Look at it on my face, dude.
I told you get on your hands.
Alright, now we let that drain. So when you're changing your oil, make sure you change over the crush washer. This is the old one here. Get rid of that, put it in the bin, put a new one on. So when you tighten it up, it crushes against the sump and it supplies a nice good seal so you don't get any oil leaks. Alright, crush washer's on. This has been draining for like probably 10 minutes. I mean, it'd be fine to continue on. So put the plug back in it. When you do this up, you want to make sure to just do it as tight as possible so that you can never get it back off. And if you take it to a mechanic, they have much difficulty trying to get it off too. And there you go. Alrighty. Then just spray a bit of degreaser on that and make it look all pretty. Alright, time to get the oil filter off. And if you did it right last time, it won't be extremely tight, like this one is. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's coming a little bit. There we go. And you want to try and line your oil pan up correctly so you don't put it everywhere. Now, off it comes. And there'll be a bit of oil in there as well. All right, now to change your oil filter over, it's very, very simple. Take out the new one, pull the plastic off, get your O-ring out, and you want to put a bit of oil on it to lube it up. Make sure it doesn't seize up and get all cracked when it's in there. Smear it around. When it's all smeared, just chuck it back on the new filter, like that. Doesn't want to go in. Should look like that when you're done. Make sure the rubber seal is seated correctly around the lip of the oil filter. Ready to go back on? Just clean up around the outside a little bit, just so it's a little bit nicer, bit better of a seal as well. Chuck the new one on, make sure it's seated straight and threads on nicely. And then just, again, do it as tight as you possibly can so no one else can ever take it off again. That'll be right. Here we go. Dutchie's on the step, cameraman. That's what you get when you lift your car a bit too high.
Doesn't help that I'm short, but that's alright.
Right, now it comes time to get into the engine bay so you can put the oil back in. Now, if you've got a tall four-wheel drive, you're probably going to want to sit in the engine bay. Otherwise, you can't reach to pour the oil in. So do your best to get up in here and just sit on something that's not going to break. So again, it takes about 9.3 litres. So I got 4 litres left in this old one. So I'll pour all this in, grab the new stuff and pour that in too. Alright, that's the end of the 4 litres, so we'll grab a freshie and start pouring that in as well. But first we've got to get down off the bull bar. Now in goes another approximately 5 litres. There we go. The oil's in. We did about 9.5 litres. So we'll start it up and it'll suck it into the oil filter, and then we'll probably have to top it up some more. But you can always add more. You can't really take it out unless you drain it all and go again. So we'll see how this goes. All right, now we'll start it up to let the oil go into the oil filter. Give it a little tick to all drain in, and then we'll grab the dippy stick and give it a dip. All right, so we'll let the engine run for a little bit, get the oil up to temp, and we're gonna measure it on the dipstick. So clean it off, get it back in.
Find the hole.
Find the hole. Give it a little swishy swishy. Yeah, let's have a gander. Oh, you wouldn't read about it, but that's almost perfect. I'd say it's pretty good. Obviously it's going to read a bit higher when the oil's warm, as it's not sitting in the sump, so that's probably okay. I'll just monitor it over the next couple of days and maybe top it up a tad, but should be okay. Alright, so we're going to change the air filter next. I've got a 1HZ engine, as you know, but this is a 1FZ airbox, so it's a little bit modified to fit in, but same sort of thing. Take the wing nut off the top, disconnect all the vacuum lines, pull her out and put the new one in. So let's see how we go. We'll just pull the vacuum lines off the top of the lid. 1, 2, unclip it all around, and then we'll just loosen these hose clamps on the dump pipe and then pull the lid out. Out it comes, and then just pull the air filter out. It's not too bad, to be honest. It's a pretty new air filter, so it's not that bad, but like it's definitely getting on a little bit, so may as well change it whilst we're at it. Before you chuck the new air filter in, just clean it all out. It's just a bit of preventative maintenance, so you're not already clogging it with dust as soon as it gets in there. Get the airbox as well, all around. It actually helps if you wash your engine bay before you service your car, so don't follow what I'm doing. But new air filter, make sure it goes in the right way, and yeah, put the lid back on and we're all set. So just put it back together how you took it apart, wing nut back on, chuck the vacuum lines on, this one too, and then crank this hose clamp back down as well. All right, now we'll tackle the fuel filter. So pretty simple, disconnect it from the brackets, and then basically you can leave the fuel lines on and you'll just flip it up and pull the filter off. So take the 2 nuts off the top and you want to disconnect this little electrical bit here, and then take it off, all good, and you want to screw this bottom bit off, which is really tough sometimes. Some people get like spanners on it, but if you got big muscles like me, you shouldn't need to. I'd have to. I know what I'm doing though. So now just unscrew it from the top housing bit. Again, use your big muscles. Dude, why is it so tight?
You did it 10,000 Ks ago. You did it up.
Oh my goodness. Alright, I definitely didn't need help with that. Just came straight off. Yeah, just twist it off. There's gonna be a bit of fuel in there, so keep it upright. There we go. Not a single hiccup was had. And then now you just got some free diesel in here. So I don't know, do what you want with it. It's about 150 bucks worth of diesel right there. Oh well. So that was extremely easy to get off. Definitely didn't take us 20 minutes. It helps if you get some needle nose pliers and put them in those grooves there, and then hold it in a vise or just some really strong hands and twist it like that. But anyway, it's off. So now we'll replace it into the new filter. All right, so when you open up the new filter, there's gonna be an O-ring sitting on the bottom here. Don't lose that, very important. Take the old one off, and you want to grab some fuel. So your old fuel filter will probably have some fuel lingering about. So get that on the fingers, and then lube up the new O-ring. Again, just stops it from perishing and creates a little bit of a better seal. Once you've lubed up the O-ring, chuck it back onto the cap, and then just screw it in. And it doesn't need to be super tight, but make sure it's nipped up a little bit. So just lube up the top O-ring as well. Then it's pretty simple. Clean off the bottom so the surface is all nice, and then just screw it back on. So once it's all screwed back together, plug your little computer back in. So do up these nuts and tighten them up a little bit. Don't need to be anything crazy, like it's just holding onto the bracket. Then once you've done that, I can't remember how many times you're supposed to prime it, but I'm pretty sure you just prime it till it gets stiff. So do it, make sure it's not leaking whilst you're priming it, and then turn her over and hope she starts. So it's gotten stiff now, so we'll just crank the car over. So I'm not sure if you're supposed to prime it till it gets stiff or like what you're supposed to do, so we'll just wing it a little bit, but hopefully she cranks. Very good. All right, so it's the next day. It's time to do the transmission and the transfer case and the diff oil. So we'll start on the transmission here. 2 big bolts, one here and drain is here. It's as simple as taking this one off and then taking this one off and letting it all drain out. So let's see how we go. Cameraman Dutchie cracking the other side.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Oh,
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Now she's clogged. Oh, man.
That's the color you want it to be right there. Right, now we're just filling up the transfer bottle. Transfer it all into the transmission. And it should take 2.6 litres, so we'll do this twice in a little bit. And then it just should be filled up.
1 litre bottle?
1 litre bottle. Make sure you put the drain plug back in before you fill it up. Otherwise it won't stay in the transmission. All right, so all you gotta do now is put this little hook inside the transmission. And then basically just pump it and fill it up till it starts to weep out of the entry hole just a little bit. So yeah, it should take about 2.6 litres, so 2.5 of these 1 litre bottles.
Unreal scenes.
All right, so it's starting to seep out now. You can't really see, but she's full. So we'll just take this hook back out and torque it up to mat specs. I think it's supposed to be around like 36 foot-pound, but I'm just guesstimating. Like, it doesn't need to be super, super duper tight. That'll probably do it. Yeah, she'll probably be right. All right, now we're onto the transfer case. So this is the fill hole here. This is the drain hole. So I'll just start by cracking the fill hole to make sure it actually does want to open. There you go. Then we'll just put onto the drain hole and crack that and let it all pour out. That was easy. Oh, that's pretty good. Brand new. Righto, so put the drain plug back in. Don't do it up too tight. It's only an aluminium housing, so it doesn't need to be super duper tight, but that's all back together. Now we just start pumping, and we pump till she's full. It should take about 1.3 litres. So it's just started to weep out now, as you can see. So it means we're full. Just took a little bit over 1.3 litres, so pull the hook out and put the plug in. Plug's going in. Again, just nip this one up, not too tight, because it's an aluminium housing, so you don't want to strip it out. Alrighty, onto the diffs. Dutch is just cleaning out the drain hole because it's really clogged up with dirt.
Righto. I reckon that'll be good. See if she fits. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, let's drain it. Alright, we're just going to crack the front just to make sure it actually does want to open. It's not seized. Oh. Crack the bottom.
Yum.
To be honest, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. That's pretty bad though, all those metal fragments. It's not what you want.
Yeah, but look at those.
That's new diff territory right there.
You've been grinding them, mate.
That's not what you want to happen. Bit of metal. Oh well, I reckon it's got another 100,000 in it. I'm not sure what the goal is with this blue concoction. Must be the Outback hardened that Penrite was talking about. Bit of that blue action. All right, Dutch is gonna give her a pump. Fill up the front diff until it just starts to weep out of the hole again, and then all set, and then we'll just do the same with the rear diff.
2.6 litres, yeah?
2.6 litres. And we'll check in if anything interesting happens.
Pump up, jam, pump it up. Why your feet are stumping?
Look at that glow stick.
We're gonna blame it on me.
Pro tip, make sure you put your washer on the bottom of your plug. We realised that we had a washer left over and we were wondering where it was after we put that bottom plug in. And,
after putting 2 litres of diff oil.
After putting 2 litres of diff oil in, so that's what that is on the ground there. But we tried to catch it all back in the jug, so yeah, make sure you put your washers on.
Get that the big jobs.
Alright, so once you finish the front diff, it's the exact same with the rear, and then that concludes it. 80 series 400,000 kilometre service complete. Keep sticking around. We're going away camping pretty shortly and we'll post up a video of that, so hope you enjoyed it. Let us know how badly we messed up in the comments, and yeah,